has announced yesterday that the firing of Lieutenant General Jeffrey Kruse, head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Along with Kruse, Hegseth also removed Vice Admiral Nancy LaCour, who led the Navy Reserve, and Rear Admiral Milton Sands, commander of Naval Special Warfare. This latest shake-up comes as Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, acting on President Trump's orders, revoked dozens of security clearances and announced plan to cut more than 40% of ODNI staff by October 1st. Kruse's ouster follows a leaked preliminary assessment by the Defense Intelligence Agency that said June 22nd U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities only set Tehran back a few months. This directly contradicted President Trump's claim that the target were obliterated. The move is part of a broader pattern in which the Trump administration has repeatedly removed senior military and intelligence officials whose analyses or views have clashed with the president's narrative. Now, for this discussion, we're joined by Professor Jim Rice. He's a professor of international law. Thank you, Professor, for staying with us. Now, how could this conflicting assessment of Iranian airstrikes between the DIA, also President Trump, affect U.S. credibility domestically?
Well, again, this administration is not normal. For your viewers, especially those from around the world and domestically, the United States military has traditionally been, from the time of its founding, non-political in nature. In other words, the military officers, the enlisted men, the non-commissioned officers, all take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. As General Milley said, they did not take their oath to a man or to a dictator or to a wannabe dictator. And what Trump has been doing since his inauguration is to try and break these norms and really to break the law in terms of transforming the military to the kind of military where everyone takes an oath to the president. And this will not work out. And here he's fired. By the way, in your great introduction, you failed to mention that at the beginning of his term, Trump fired the Judge Advocate General officials, who are essentially the judges that judge military cases. But here he's fired someone from the Defense Intelligence Agency, which is tasked with providing timely and unbiased and accurate intelligence information. And clearly this is not going to go along with somebody who is demanding absolute loyalty, whose reports must be that Trump did a great job no matter what happened. The Defense Intelligence Agency has got to be loyal to the facts and not to the man.
And do you think what could be the risks of politicizing intelligence in national security decision making?
It's catastrophic. And if I can just slightly segue, this has to be seen within the last 24 hours. Trump's Department of Justice ordered a raid on the home of Trump's former intelligence officer, or rather, the director of national, no, not the director of national intelligence, but John Bolton, who was a close advisor to the president. And the reason for that, of course, is that John Bolton had written a book which is critical of the Trump presidency, and he continues to criticize him on news outlets like this after his term was over. So this politicization of the military is catastrophic, and it will take years, if not generations, to repair. The military is not loyal to the president. The military is loyal to the Constitution. And to change this is to change the nature of the United States of America.
And Professor, lastly, how might this impact the morale and effectiveness of U.S. intelligence agencies domestically?
It's catastrophic. Were I to be working in such an agency, I just can't imagine actually what these people are going through, because they know it's wrong. It's against all of the traditions of the military and the defense, the intelligence agencies. And they know who Trump is, and they know he lies, and they know of his very, very fragile ego. And when you listen to him now, I mean, and I'm sure your viewers will agree, he's incoherent. He does not make sense. He can't string one sentence together. So to briefly summarize the answer to your question, it must be very, very bad indeed for morale.
Thank you very much, Professor Jim Rice, for always joining us and sharing your insight throughout our news.